Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up? This is Tweak here, back again with another Escape from Tarkov video, believe it or not. So today we are going to talk about Tarkov having a ban system that would incorporate loyal players, streamers, maybe like forum moderators, Discord moderators, and stuff like that into a group of people that are basically categorized as, you know, like cheater catchers, okay? This is going to be a system fairly similar to CSGO's Overwatch system, which apparently had like a ton of success in that game. But there's definitely going to be some stark differences because generally when people are cheating in CSGO, it's a lot easier to tell than when people are cheating in Tarkov. So Tarkov cheaters have evolved over the years. They can now do some nutty shit, and they can also do things that makes it look like they are, you know, not sus, or at least not sus looking enough to the point where you're like, I don't know if this guy is cheating or not. So basically the other day I wrote a tweet and I said I would love it if Battlestate Games would incorporate something like an Overwatch system that would essentially hire, well, not hire, you know, we'd be doing it for free, dedicated players in the community to like Overwatch cheater accounts or people that have been reported. Considering the amount of interactions that tweet has gotten, all of it, you know, 90% positive, it obviously seems like something that people would want. So in this video, I'm going to go over what we should do, how the system should work to avoid people getting screwed and to avoid people abusing the system. So essentially, you're going to have the main menu in Tarkov, you're going to have Escape from Tarkov, and then you're going to have, you know, your stash screen, you're going to have your hideout, your options, and all that stuff. And then maybe up like the top left-hand side of the screen, there's going to be like a picture with an exceptionally small penis on it. And that is going to be called the cheater review system, right? And then to enter it, you have to be, you know, a dedicated player. You have to have X amount of hours, so not anybody can do it. Because if you let everybody into the system, you're going to overflow it with people who just think that everybody's cheating. So that is why I want, you know, dedicated people who have been playing the game for a long time and know the game inside out to be a part of this program, and not just somebody who just bought the game, who just did their first 100 hours of EFT. So when you click into this, right, you're going to be put into a random player's UI, okay, to where you can see their stash, you can see their stats, you can see basically everything this person has and all of their statistics. You can see their hours played, and you can also, and this is exceptionally important, right? You need to be able to see the people that they play with, okay? Now, the reason why you need to be able to see the people that they play with is because if you are playing Tarkov and you are inviting a different player every single time you go into, let's say, a labs raid or a reserve raid or a shoreline raid, if you're inviting a random different player every single time that isn't already on your friends list, what does that immediately shout to you? Oh, it's a boost run. So that would be one really important thing that would need to be shown. You would also need to be able to see not only their statistics and their stash value and everything like that, but whether they've touched their hideouts or not, because I doubt cheaters ever use anything in their hideout because there is nothing of value in there for them. Also, you need to be able to see their flea market, because on the flea market, it has become a common trend where, like, early on in the wipe, if people are RMTing, they're going to have insanely high flea market ratings. Like, I've seen people on the flea market already that have 100, 200 rep, which makes little to no sense, because I don't understand how any person playing Tarkov legitimately could have rep that high. Now, not to say that there isn't a couple of people that have rep that high. I'm sure they do. That is not the norm, okay? That is definitely not the norm. So these are little things that we can see. Their KD as well. Their KD is incredibly important to see. And their amount of raids survived, you can see based on, you know, stats. Now, this is all really important information before you even see any gameplay, because based on all of these things, you know, like if it's one thing, you know, they have a high KD, but everything else is whatever, or if they have a high flea market value, but their survival rate is high, but they have a very low KD, maybe they're just, you know, they're just going into raids and they're just looting and leaving and selling. But, you know, if they have, you know, 3 things, 4 things, when you add all of these different variables together, you can start to see what's sus and what isn't. You know what I mean? This is the next thing. And I don't even know if BSG could do something like this. When somebody gets reported, I don't want to see just a segment of that raid. What I want to be able to do is go in live to this player's raid and watch them play an entire raid live. as they're doing it. Now, the way this would work is maybe get a little notification saying this player has just entered raid. You click back in and then you click on that player, and then it brings you to a live perspective of what they're doing in the raid. So you get to watch them play an entire raid start to finish. And you can do this, I guess, as many times as you want, okay? And then you can decide, okay, I want to report this person because I definitely think they're cheating. You can watch them shoot through walls. You can watch them fly around. You can watch them teleport behind players. You can watch them do whatever, run to every single LEDX on the map without checking anything else, or running straight to a keycard without checking everything else. This is what I would love to see, because it's a very flawed thing in CSGO, because it only shows you like a couple of different clips of the person, and it's definitely flawed because cheaters over the years in CSGO have actually found out a way to avoid getting caught in the Overwatch system. So at least this way, you can watch somebody live and be absolutely guaranteed that they're cheating before you report them, okay? Now, moving on to the next point. It isn't only going to be one person that gets to decide whether this player is sus or not, okay? Once you report somebody, then that report gets, let's say, elevated, okay? And it gets sent to everybody in the program. And now this player's name is in their list of sus people to look at, on top of everybody else that they think is sus that they are currently investigating, right? It will require 10 people, 10 individuals from the program to report this person before it gets sent to BSG, and then somebody at BSG does a manual review of the account, and then they get the final say. This isn't going to be something to where the community can band together and then a couple of bad apples from the community can say, ha, this guy, I know who this is. He's a streamer, or he's a guy that I know that I don't like or whatever. So let's all mass report him when his VOD comes up and get him banned. Because at the end of the day, I think it should be a case of BSG needs to have the final say on this. I don't know like how much of a workload this would add to a staff member at BSG, but I think it could be worth it to have them on this kind of thing, because I think this combined with BattlEye would seriously put a mega dent in cheating in Tarkov. And it's not like BSG even have to pay us to do it, because I'm sure most people in the community would be more than happy to do something like this. For me personally, I would love to do this, especially on stream, because it'd be such good content. Now, what I was saying earlier, it will not be based on a single piece of evidence. The reason why I don't want it ever to be based on a single piece of evidence is because of this little video right here. I'm going to bring up something from my past. 2020, I was actually falsely banned by BSG. I think it was a manual ban, because the clips that were shown of me quote-unquote cheating were posted on the forums where people would go to report cheaters in EFT. And I think a moderator saw it and then decided to ban my account. Now, a little bit of pretext to this as well before you guys say, oh yeah, you're just a cheater and BSG let you off for free. Lads, this raid right here, the funniest thing about this whole thing is this is the first raid that I survived during that, I think it was like an 11-hour stream. This was the first raid I survived. And I'm just going to let the video play and let you guys see it, because I know a lot of you guys haven't seen this before. So, enjoy. Right there, I can hear footsteps, so I look over this direction. Actually, let me turn my camera off real quick so you guys can see everything. There you go. Back when I had pink hair, lads, remember? I hear him running across. I heard him jump. He peeks me. He's dead. Anything sus about this so far, lads? You guys see anything weird? Nothing weird. Looks legit. Just killed 2 guys. I heard them coming. I aimed in the direction I heard the audio. I saw the guy. I fired a couple of shots, got him in the head. Heard his buddy jump across. Saw him peek out, shot him in the face. All right? So, luckily enough, we got the perspectives of the 2 people that I killed. Watch this. There's me sitting there. Oh, where'd I go? Oh, I flew out the window. There I am. Oh, bye, guys. I'm gone out the window. One more time. Here's me here. Right there. I'm gone. I am gone out the window. What is going on? I am out this. I am out this window. I am gone. And then boom. I fly back in.
And he dies. Now, we're going to watch it from his buddy's perspective. Oh, there I go! Oh, look out, there I go! Superman flying away!
So, you guys get the idea, okay? You guys get the idea. To be honest with you guys, when I first saw these and I watched them myself, the first thing that I said was, well, if I was these two guys and I recorded this perspective, I would have said I was cheating too. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys probably don't know this, but back in the day, not even back in the day, this video is from 2020. This is about 2 years ago. There was actually a bug which was pretty much exclusive to the RSAS, where this kind of rubber banding effect was rare, but it did happen. And it eventually did get fixed. So when I said earlier that when somebody in the community is investigating a player, the reason why I don't want it to be based off a single clip is because in Tarkov, there are bugs. Okay? There's bugs in Tarkov. We all know this. There's desync, there's lag, there's, you know, whatever. There's netcode issues, and there's bugs, right? This was a bug paired with a little bit of desync, I think, because the first guy that I killed, I actually, when you watch it from my perspective, I actually shot him a lot. I shot him like 5 times before he died. And in the clip, it seems like he only got shot once and then fell over. So already there, we have an example of desync coming into play. And it was just unfortunate, I guess, at the time that I happened to rubber band out the window. But I'm glad it happened now because I can use this as an example for this video. So why I want to be able to watch an entire raid from the suspect, let's say, perspective, is because when you watch an entire raid, you'll see how they play. You'll see multiple examples of how they're killing people. You'll see multiple examples of the way they play, the way they move. And you can tell when a good Tarkov player is moving around in the environment. You can tell an experienced Tarkov player, you know, by how they path. You can tell how an experienced Tarkov player would know their spawns, how to move around them. Whereas cheaters generally are just shit players that just buy cheats and they have no idea what they're doing. And they're going to run through the path of like most resistance or just W key towards somebody that their little fucking red box is around that tells them there's a player over there because they have walls or whatever. And they'll just run straight at players nonstop over and over again. And you'll be able to see pretty quickly that that's not game sense because of the way they move, the way they run straight at people, and the way they just turbo overconfidently take every single fight because they know they'll win because they're cheaters. So this, to me, is the most important reason why it can't ever be made so that when you ban somebody, it's based off one clip. Because in this clip here, I was innocent. I got fucked by a bug in the game, and basically an unfortunate circumstance which happens to people in Tarkov all the time. You never know when you die to somebody in EFT if they were cheating or not, because a lot of the times desync will come into play and bugs will come into play. So you can't ever base it off one piece of evidence, and this is why I wanted to be based off an entire raid scenario so you can watch somebody play it out. So lads, this video's gone on long enough. Hopefully I've explained everything, and I'm sure there's other improvements. I'm sure there's other suggestions. If you guys have suggestions for a system like this, leave a comment down below and let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. But this is something that I think would really be good for EFT. And I think in the long run, a system like this will do better than any anti-cheat, because the anti-cheat has to stay on top of cheats being updated and new cheats coming out all the time. This is why people say, oh, the anti-cheat sucks. The anti-cheat doesn't suck. The anti-cheat is very fucking good at its job. But the way the anti-cheat works is it detects one type of cheat, okay? And then what it does is it doesn't immediately ban that player. It collects information on everybody else that's using that same cheat. And then after a week, it mass bans everybody. But for the players, for us, that's not ideal. So with this, with as dedicated as the EFT community is, I think we could really make a massive difference to the game and honestly do better work than BattleICAN or basically any anti-cheat, because once you have thousands and thousands of people all manually reviewing clips like this, working together to clean up the community, you're going to ban way more people than I think an anti-cheat ever could. So that is it, lads. That is my thoughts on this, on a system that could hopefully benefit the game in the long run. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, share the video with a friend. Thank you very much for watching. Peace out, my dudes.